Oh my god, a lesbian talking about Jesus. I think that during these times, talking about Jesus from anybody quite possibly could be the most important thing that we could be doing right now. What's up, homies? Today I wanted to talk about putting perspectives on life challenges. When I say life challenges, I'm more so talking about like life challenges that are back to back to back to back. If you're like me, you've experienced life challenges where there was no break in between, which then means there's limited time for proper healing and coping. Even though I'm on the other side of it, life challenges never stop, but even though I'm on the other side of 10 years of back-to-back traumatic experiences, I am still reflecting on it, and I'm taking a different angle of looking at everything and trying to learn from it from a different way, from God's view. Because while I was going through those things, I was way too deep in it. Even when I'm trying to make sense out of it, at the end of the day, like, I was still younger and I was still new to Christianity, and also it was fucking hard. It's really hard to be positive and learn that everything happens for a reason. That shit don't work. It doesn't make me feel better. But now that I'm in a place of a little more peace, I wanted to learn from a different angle to process those things. So I've been learning a lot about Joseph in the Bible. Joseph is my homie right now. Like, he and I are two-stepping for sure right now, because I'm learning about Joseph and I'm like, homie's been through shit. Like, his entire family, all of his brothers hated him. Like, what? Like, how many brothers? Like, mad brothers, and all of them hated him so much that they sold him. Like, how the fuck? He's been just betrayed by so many people. God put him through shit for 13 years. Before all of that happened, he had this vision, he had a dream where God gave him this grand purpose of everybody bowing down to him. That's when his brothers got like jealous and they were like, oh hell no, like ain't no way that I'm ever gonna bow down to you ever. So they sold him or whatever. Even through those 13 years of complete bullshit and betrayal by other people, he kept faith in whatever this purpose one day that God will show him to be. That's crazy to me, and that also inspires me, because I know that as a human being I fall short sometimes in having the patience to understand God's grace and his purpose for me. And yeah, every time I went through some shit, the only hope I had back then was that everything was happening for a reason. And sure enough, I'm seeing the fruit of that now, very, very slowly but surely. Putting that into perspective of learning about Joseph, I've been doing some like daily devotionals on Joseph, and here's some 2 paragraphs that I thought were dope. God spoke to Joseph as a young boy through a dream and vision regarding his future. The proving out of that word from God was filled with 13 years of waiting, rejection, pain, sorrow, and no doubt questioning God's faithfulness. Joseph's life was all but a life of influence and impact as a prisoner and slave. No doubt he wondered whether that dream was simply some vain imagination. So even if God put him through 13 years of waiting, rejection, pain, sorrow, he never questioned God's faithfulness. Rather than thinking like, that's just an idea that I had one day. That's nice, but it's not my reality right now. That's impossible. That's never gonna happen. Because look at my current circumstances right now. Like, fuck. Everybody treats me like shit, fuck. So there's no way that I'm gonna be king one day. If he didn't have that sort of mentality, he was kind of like, nah, everything's happening for a reason. Maybe he's psychotic a little bit, but I think that just goes to show his level of faith and also God's goodness. The second paragraph says, God's preparation for greatness in his kingdom is often filled with difficulty. That inner life can only be prepared by removing all self-confidence and replacing it with God confidence. Okay, that shit blew me away, and that's what really brought me closer to learning about Joseph. The big thing is that God gave us free will. Because we have free will, he can't force us to be humble. He can't make us humble. He can't make us Beyonce. Like, he can't give us a really big, great purpose with a grand platform, and then at the same time make us this representation of him and therefore also practice humility. I'm learning now through Joseph that the only way God can mold us, God can make us humble, remind us who the fuck we really are without him, the only way he can do that is to mold us through challenges. And it's up to us how we perceive each challenges, what we learn from it, and then how we apply those lessons into our future endeavors. And the only way that he can, that's why they don't talk about like the potter and the clay, because he gotta build us. And the devotional also quotes, suffering produces character. Homies, God does not want people on the mic, on a big stage, just talking shit after everything he's done for any one of us. And I think that's why humility is so important. In my darkest moments, even when I didn't have Christ in my life, the only hope that I had was continuously repeating to myself that everything was happening for a reason. And I never knew what that reason might be. But when I graduated college and quit my first full-time job to pursue speaking, that's how I thought maybe I should go on about my purpose. But now I'm starting to think that maybe speaking is under a bigger umbrella. But whatever my purpose, whatever my big vision might be, I don't think the journey will ever be over. I don't think that struggle will ever be over for me. But at the same time, I don't think the exploration of that and the expression of that, how I showcase all of that and how I glorify God and tell my story through all of it, I think it'll continue to evolve. Because, I mean, Oprah started off on the radio. Now she's Oprah. The fuck? I hope this can help some of you too. I'll be praying for you, and thank you for watching.